Good morning, everyone. Welcome to morning meeting. Today we're going to be joining turtle ambassadors once I find them. They're currently outside, so it's a game of hide and seek for them. There's two of them. It says, "Oh, are you guys? Hi, Big Mama. Hello, pretty girl." And as always, let me know where you guys are tuning in from today. If you have any questions or anything like that, we'd love to answer them and as well as say good morning to everyone. I'm just gonna let her run around this morning. Alright, pretty? Here, we're gonna go over there to get you a treat. Right. We're just gonna go run around. There you go. So Big Mama is one of our 4 box turtle ambassadors. Want a treat? Nope, not yet. Okay. So we do have 4 of them. They are terrestrial turtles, which means that they do live on land. They wade in water, but they can't swim like our snap-ring turtles and our painted turtles. And these guys are pretty rare around here. We have 7 types of turtles here in Maine, and 5 of them are threatened on some level. She's like, I'm gonna move. Today we're just gonna get some exercise with these guys. I'll try to get all of them out for a little walk. Hi, Mom. Good morning, Michelle. We have Big Mama with us today. Right, pretty girl. See, the guys are named box turtles because, I know, of this line that's right under their shell. So that line actually acts as a hinge. They can completely shut their shell completely up in the front and the back. Here, you want a worm? The guy just had breakfast yesterday, so I'm not super hungry. These guys do get fed every other day, and they got fed yesterday, so she may not be super interested in it. Oh, there you go. A nice little treat for you, Big Mama. But they use that hinge to shut their shell completely up. They can actually do it in the front and the back. That's why they're called box turtles. They don't have, finish your worm. They don't have those little web feet that are right. And they will go in water just to kind of wade in a really shallow pool. A lot of times we do see them on the edge in like vernal pools and near wetlands. But they so Big Mama, as well as our other 3 other box turtles, were pets at one point. So imagine a little baby turtle is only about the size of a quarter. So they're very, very tiny. But they actually never meet their mom and dad ever. So they are actually born with all the information that they need to survive. Where you going, Big Mama? All the information they need to survive. And that's really important with these guys especially because turtles know exactly the place that they were born in. And they have ancestral breeding grounds. Lay her eggs in the same place that she was born and her grandma was born and her great-great-grandma was born. It can go back for centuries. So these guys have a better GPS in their heads than we do on our phones. It's mostly through magnetics. That's how like sea turtles are going to migrate. What are you doing? You can't eat my shoe. You can't do that. If she lets me show you, they have a little beak, just like a bird, that is very sharp and hard. Under all that is bone. Hi. Good morning, Naomi from Rhode Island. Welcome. How you doing, Big Mama? Like, I have stuff to do. So especially on a beautiful day like today, we like to get our turtle ambassadors and all of our ambassadors out for a little walk in the sunshine. that sunlight is really important for them. It helps keep their shell healthy. And so as you saw when I grabbed her, she was outside. So our turtle ambassadors do go outside during the day, and we'll bring them in at night just to make sure that they're safe. But they really do enjoy hanging out in the sun. And Big Mama and our other female Lily, a lot of times you'll find them hanging out together in the afternoon, just trying to keep cool. But that sun is really good for their shell. Right? What do you think? So she has dark brown eyes, pretty drab skin, drab shell. So that's how we know Big Mama is a female. So the boys, as you'll see in a little bit, are very bright. They have bright skin, bright eyes. Where the girls are pretty drab. They're trying to blend in. Songbird males, the boys are really pretty, trying to attract a mate. And the girls don't want the predators to see where they're laying their eggs. So that's why they have this different coloration. That is one way that you can tell with these guys. Oh, you loving your worm? So excited. Yeah, so today's walk is some enrichment for her, as well as like this live food that we give them. So when we do try to offer these guys live insects, something that they have to actually kind of work a little bit harder to get, but they're also their favorite treats. What do you think? Please don't bite my finger. You got a little schmutz. What do you think, Big Mama? So she is a pretty good size for a box turtle. So she's about the size of my hand. Oh, don't bite me. These guys, they do constantly grow, but they do grow much slower when they're older. And so you can see on her shell all those little tiny rings, those shell scoots, all those little puzzle pieces. Actually the same stuff that our hair and our fingernails are made of, called keratin. And so you can see just like the rings on her scoots are kind of like rings on a tree. So you can, when they shed them, they shed about once a year, turtles. And so we can actually take those scoots under a microscope and count them up, which is pretty cool. Please don't bite me. Hey, you still got some schmutz. Good morning, Theo. Naomi, so all of our box turtles are between 40 and 60 years old. I believe she's up closer to the 60 side of that, just because of her size. But the crazy thing about these guys, though, is that so they were kidnapped out of the wild as tiny little quarter-sized hatchlings. And you think, oh, cute little pet. But these guys can actually live to be over 100 years old. So they've been documented at closer to 130, 150 years in captivity. So they're incredibly long-lived. Is why Big Mama and our other box turtles, as well as all of our reptiles, came to us. So these guys are very long-lived. They are also protected because they are threatened here in the state of Maine. Like most of our turtles, we have 7 species here. 5 are threatened or endangered on some level. And so you cannot have them as pets, but when they were kidnapped, it was legal. So someone had found her, brought her home. We think they actually tried to use her as fishing bait just because she has a hole. Someone had drilled a hole in her shell, unfortunately, which is really sad. But it's part of her story. And so these guys, they're very long-lived, and a lot of our reptiles have special diets. These guys are omnivores, just like us, so she eats fruits and veggies and proteins, so lots and lots of different types of food. So some of her proteins will give her fish and bugs, as you just saw. I gave her a worm, crickets, sometimes we'll cut up a little mouse and give that to her. So it just depends, but she does need all those different food groups that we need as well. They also need the proper lighting and temperature. They need a warmer side and a cooler side. In their enclosures, they need to get that, if it's not during the summertime like today, they do need to get that UV sunlight, just to keep their shell healthy as well. They're pretty difficult to take care of, even those red-eared sliders that you can find in the pet stores. They can grow quite large. I've seen them well over a foot in diameter. So you definitely want to be well aware of what having a reptile means to have as a pet. They're certainly not cuddly like our cats and our dogs and our guinea pigs. They do enjoy their walks, but they're not going to want to cuddle necessarily with you. Right, Big Mama? You gonna meet someone else now? Yeah. I'm gonna go put Big Mama back and we'll go meet one of my other friends. I know. I'm gonna give someone else a chance to walk around. Hi, honey. Let's see where everyone else is today. So I'm just gonna put you guys down quick so that I can grab him or grab someone. I don't really know who I'm gonna grab yet. Ginger, winner. There we go. Let's go walk around, Ginger. There we go. Now, this is Ginger, one of our male eastern box turtles. So you can see he's much different in coloration than Big Mama was. Let's go let him run around. Ginger is a bit of a piggy. He's the first one on the platter and stays there the longest. Oh, that sunlight. So you can see those really bright skin on him, his really bright eyes, really bright shell. And so that's how you can tell Ginger is a male box turtle. Compared to Big Mama, the boys are very, very pretty. He's about the same size as her. Side 60 range of our box turtles. But of our box turtles, though, he is actually our newest friend. So Lily, Big Mama, and Clifford actually came to us when we opened. They were our first ambassadors here in the late 80s. Ginger joined us in 2008. What do you think? I know, it's very bright. That sunlight is so good for you. Good morning, Ryan. Welcome. Yes, Ginger. Gonna go run around, or are you just gonna sit? Wait, there's a little bit more warm. Let me get that. Pretty cool. Like I said, most of our turtles don't very far. They lay their eggs in the same place that Mama's born, Grandma's born. Their home range spend most of their life is actually smaller than a football field. So they've been radio tracked and studied, so that's how they can find that. They will travel up to a mile or two outside of that if they're either looking for mates or if they're going to lay their eggs. But that home range is actually relatively tiny, which is why it's really important not to move these guys. So if you do help a turtle cross the road, of course, if you're younger, you definitely want an adult help, because like our snapping turtles, if it's Ginger size, you can hold it very firmly with in between the back one hand on beside one leg and one hand on the other. We definitely want to stay away from those front legs and that mouth. It is just like a bird's. It's very hard. It hurts. You just want to keep them safe as well as you safe. Find a turtle, you can help it cross the road by picking it up, or if it's a larger turtle, you can kind of convince it to go onto a car mat or something like that. You always want to move it in the way that is already moving. Because when we do turn them around, remember that GPS is better than our phones, so they're going to go where we're trying to go eventually. You'd be so much move on and either go find where they want to lay their eggs, or they're going to find their mate, and then they're eventually probably going to go back. But the problem is when we turn them around, they're going to still try to cross the road. Unfortunately, they may not be so lucky next time to help them. You're so handsome, Ginger. Yeah, what do you think? I want you to move around. And so they can actually feel all through this. So he does have this line that goes down on the underside, under all that little scratches. Oh yeah. They have like one of those little hard bristle brushes in their enclosure, and sometimes you'll see them rubbing up against it to get a nice little bum scrunch. Sorry guys. Even when the data's on, sometimes the Wi-Fi cuts out. Right, Ginger? Ready to go see one of the girls? Yeah. Like, I'm not really into moving around today. You're so handsome, though. So handsome. Let's go find my other ladies. Here we go. Clifford or Lily. Who wants to come hang out next, guys? Big Mama, you already came out. It's kind of like a game of hide and seek every day with these guys. Again, I'm just going to put you guys down so I can put Ginger back. Good morning, Kim. Welcome. There's Lily. There we go. So this is Lily. You can see she looks similar to Big Mama. She is a little female. But she's just a little less than half of her size. So she is one of our younger turtles. We'll put her down and let her Miss Lily run around. She is one of our more shy turtles, so I don't know how much she's going to move. She hears Henry saying he wants to go for a walk, so. Alright, Miss Lily, what do you think? Oh, I know. Get some exercise, miss. There you go. So these guys are actually scavengers. So they will eat fruits, veggies, proteins, but they also help us clean up our environments, which is pretty cool. So they'll eat dead plants called detritus. They'll munch on maybe like a dead fish or something like that. So, little nature's cleanup crews. These guys and our snapping turtles, primarily. Our local turtles. Where you going? Little nest of Phoebes right up there in our docent station. Mom's not too thrilled. There's a couple babies up there. Hello, go away. Lily, where are you going? Want to get some exercise. Right? It's so pretty. Yeah, so Lily often shows off her hinge right there. She's a little shy little girl. Okay, I'll put you down so you can run around. I'm not really in the room. You're so cute, Lily. So even though she has been with us since we opened in the late 80s, she's still a bit more quiet of a lady compared to our last friend that we're gonna meet, who loves to show off and hang out. She's still a great ambassador, though. I just want to hang out and eat and get some sun. What do you think, Lily? Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. She is pretty cute. This is what I mean when we say turtles aren't cuddly and they're not the greatest pets, if that's what you're looking for. She just wants to hang out and get some sun. Yeah. I feel good. Totally content just hanging out and sitting here. Alright, Miss Lily. I love looking at their eyes. It's so cool. Right? You're such a good girl, Lily. Yeah, so this sun's really healthy for them because they need it to keep that shell healthy so they don't develop things like shell rot, which is, if you've ever met our painted turtle ambassadors, this is what one of our painted turtles named Lotus came to us due to. So when they develop shell rot, their shell gets squishy, and imagine if that bone, which is all under that shell, is squishy, something's really not right. So that happens when they don't get that sunlight that they really need to keep that shell healthy. Alright. So we make sure that these guys do get all the sunlight that they would like, and they have a UV light in their enclosure, just so we know that they're staying nice and healthy. Alright, now. So I'm going to grab Clifford for a few minutes so he can get some sunlight too. See if he wants to move around. Right, Will? See where Cliffy is. That's good. Where are you? Henry, that's ridiculous. Cliffy. I'm just gonna put you guys down quick so I can grab him. Cliffy, really? Hi, Mr. Man. And last but not least, we have Clifford. So Clifford is a bit different than the other three. So he's what we call a three-toed box turtle. So he does look a little bit different compared to the other three, even though he does have that bright shell. Or he doesn't have the bright shell, he does have bright skin, bright eyes. He's a boy. Here. Want the worm? Want the worm? There you go. Alright, Cliffy. So Clifford did come to us as when Lily and Big Mama did. So they've been in our care for at least 30 years. So he is on the older end of our ambassadors. He's closer to that 50-60 side. You're so handsome, Clifford. So he has 3 tiny little toes, which is why we call these guys a 3-toed box turtle. And there are a couple subspecies of the eastern, which is what Lily, Big Mama, and Ginger are. So there's an ornate box turtle, as well as the eastern subspecies. But he is a 3-toed subspecies. Where are you going? Like, I have no legs and want to run around. Oh, Clifford. Where are you going? I think of our turtles, though, he's probably the most social of everyone. Right? You're so handsome, though. What do you think? These little tiny little claws that can dig in the dirt. Here. There you go, Cliffy. So if you guys have any last questions, I can certainly answer them. If not, we're going to wrap up. I'm on the move. Oh, Cliffy, we can't go down there. So as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, Cliffy.